I discuss it. What is good, what is not good, what you consider feasible, what is not feasible in the budget, and enyumre benya daje na ye remu na ye disa enkomo no enye nonko ene ye behwe modern na yasan ahwe other issues at say Ghana Armed Forces recruitment a course so ne ensema epiem said the interior minister Babontin e de ensema hodo bebre abeto dwa modalities this time omode ebeye recruitment no ene ekwan omode ebusua omade hye omohwere omo abde hye no omo so ode ho ensema behwe sansem no na yedi enkomo enso e de afo ho enye no nko yebesan ahwe ene the joint military police soup ya omode ko hwidiem ena oboase empotem ho womra nipeku a wo saa brone ne so no eyese wo mu AC authorities kwan omomo enyom adwuma no ebehwe se ekwan a nei soup no ekoso no say innocent people ekwan mo fa so mo ye no the manner in which they carry out those activities no ebehwe ne ga se mrem Ghana are we beyond that and now say amanfo AC military ni police for kwan a e was say one so etusa na monana these and many issues na enyumre abajafo betena se na yedi enkomo no ede afa ho ne nyame eyadoma Mr. Prince Obri Yeboa, a banking consultant and policy analyst, Obeba Fihanum, Solomon Anane, a Ashanti Regional Executive Member of the NDC, Obepimuha, Professor Smart Sapon, Director Research, Innovation and Development, KSTU, also Obeba Nafe, Dr. Simon Boatin, a Assistant Secretary at Chuman Webija South NPP, also a lecturer, Amstead, Omunina, Bepimuha, na Yedinkomba, Yefa, Edikaino, and Shishasu, Lawyer Charles, Joanna. Lawyer, good evening.
Good evening.
Na boko de.
Janko Pado.
Ye de nyame adom ho ye pa.
Mi che wetie fo nyina.
Ye omo jo so pa. Ye hu na che.
So what unfre mi asma.
Eno ya friend dey here awa eno no. Right. Ma ye fan ko twetwe no enhye so na ye hyase from the Chief Justice vetting no. The National Cathedral no no. The whole process beginning the course of Parliament minority ne stand the Parliament carried out its duties in Kroniba and my view near how these things turn out. Yeah.
Well, generally, Parliament is supposed to vet and so vetting. Obia okwako hold any position, being especially if it is a constitutional position, it is a chief justice, a constitutional position, a veteran. Ministers there into because president know your constitutional year or appointment as a veteran or delegating the powers to be a monk of a veteran. Yeah. The duty of Parliament, which consists of the minority and then the international Kwabena so some more questions on both sides.
Okay.
Because they're public duty. That's what would be some questions. Now I could see, sir, the difficulty here, minority ninya I say, there was always an opposition to their questions. But okay, FM1 as FM1 because they are in a minority, need to know. Now FM.
Okay.
So they were actually frustrated.
Okay.
With the whole with performing their duties under the and they decided say that they will walk off. They will boycott the whole situation, which was a very sad thing that happened. And then obviously there is a matter in court. And with the Debian Bekachenko for say that matter in court, the removal of the Chief Justice was the constitutional process that had gone through. And also, there is no coming back on that.
No matter what.
No matter what. But whether she's been removed as a judge,
okay, or
a chief justice, is the issue, but a gray area.
Okay.
And I believe, say, going to court, if she's going to, oh, now, Yayimi as a chief justice, do I lose my position as a judge? Because I'm in court retirement. I still have a long years ahead of me to practice or to sit as a judge. Do I lose my benefits and the rest of it because I've been removed as a chief justice? Chief justice is a position.
Yeah.
It is a position. that was given to her by the Constitution. And therefore, if she's being removed, does she lose her right to be a judge and sit on the bench of the Supreme Court? I know they're a gray area.
Okay.
But when you talk about the chief, the Chief Justice removal, clearly stated by the Constitution, the process that goes through. I don't see a return.
You don't see a return.
I know.
Even minority knows some more can say it is flawed and Omampeni Ashedan way, though it went through the process,
yes,
all right.
The issue is the basis upon which the president took that document to Council of State. I don't think the president did his job very well in terms of trying to assess. They said when they brought a petition against him, he looked at what they were saying and found out whether it merited him even taking the matter to the and yes, if you don't go through that process, the independence of the judiciary is seriously hammered, seriously dented, because any president or chair president be now. Obakaso okay, will be the petition ba. Me dia come a friend say Council of State am appoint you omo. Omo the aba said there is a prima facie case. It must set up a committee. At this stage now the president hasn't got any say.
Yeah.
Whatever cause na only say bio. Omo the set up committee ni we na crofo nyina so president dey yi omo. On the year Council of State on appoint you omo. No the crofo ni na committee na e ba betra so. I
see.
And I'm not saying that this president is but it's a presuppose to say if the president want to have an influence on the judiciary,
okay,
he will get somebody to bring a petition and then he will take it to Council of State and then the judiciary, and this will put fear in the judges who want to maintain their positions, and therefore they can be corrupted. In making decisions that does not support the rights of the people of this country.
Okay.
And there a different matter. The fight should have been at the time that the petition was being put forward. They should have argued, said, it is not up to the standard of even going to that to the Council of State, President best set up a committee. So that along the line it is impeded for people to know exactly what the analysis or what the law is saying.
Okay.
It is not a system or a process that will bring the Chief Justice back to the chair. It is why you impeding
the process
of getting another Chief Justice. I don't see how the two can work together.
Anyway.
But I'm also worried about the way they were not allowed to put their questions
the
to
way
this
they
chief.
want to put it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I don't think it's constitutional.
In your estimation, do you think the judicial system has been, has been taken over, is being controlled by the executive? Because that is the perception.
Well, and I think it's a proper perception because the president said, during the campaign time, so about Chief Justice, was there any petition before him?
No.
There was no petition before him. So if he said so be that's a petition, not the unity. It's consistent with what he said when he was campaigning and what he has done now. That gives my worry. My worry is the fact that my judge be on the Supreme Court bench because they can be removed from his behavior.
Okay.
And it's rooted in a petition. Petition let's go through the process now. And I'm saying that if there's going to be an amendment, the president, after appointing the potential Chief Justice must not have anything to do with his or her removal.
Okay.
It has to be a different body, or a system must be put in place where somebody becomes the Chief Justice as per merit.
Okay.
Not necessarily not the executive arm selecting who's going to be a Chief Justice, because the independence of the judiciary protected the rights of the citizens, the rights of other human beings. Say Adena Abani say, supposing say, Ochina President Mahama will fit abem. Akotran baby Ojina Home. Now, if President Deroba and Chief Justice no so for the same way with the Now, Chilebi were formulated charges against President Mahama. Near the Supreme Court. No more transformer. Yes, you are guilty. Who is going to set it aside?
That is the question.
That is the point. It is good that the president would have not selected a chief justice which is sitting in his currency, so that the chief justice who is sitting there is clothed in immunities and powerful difficulties of trying to remove, so that irrespective of what the president says, because a third arm of government, to remove a president is an impeachment process. You have to impeach him and unclothe him of all his powers before you can take him out. Speaker also the same thing. The chief justice in the penalty say, and so on also no on obey president, the president above the law, and therefore to that extent it's not involved. Obey parliament, the parliament. It offends the constitution because they are the only ones who can interpret the constitution.
Wow.
It's a separation of powers.
Yeah.
But if one of them can be put under such stress, I think there's a problem.
The National Cathedral, so now you have always been an advocate for the National Cathedral, not just being a lawyer and just protecting the interests of the National Cathedral, but you have a strong conviction being a Christian.
That's right.
Say, as a nation, we need that project. They have been back and forth with the National Cathedral, especially with seemingly corruption issues around the National Cathedral. And I know, and Deloitte and Touche later we came from the government communications minister and your Kasama buying there are huge discrepancies in terms of sika ako room Emma matese penipa na wada no kra esiu amanfo say they are defaming him and they yatese PwC for ensimra and be audit the National Cathedral mamintiu on that score.
Well, National Cathedral Assembly, it is an interesting thing that is happening in this country. Because people have not actually come to terms with what is happening.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening is so sad. It is so sad to the extent, say, it even offends the constitutional position of rights to persons in this country. So, National Cathedral, 2017 and another chassis went through the process of land no young wejuma as at 2020 na ekono na afini ye pesi National Cathedral I ready or decided say National Cathedral no aban sini nyina aban interest kari nyina but eventually ye wi e be aban na be hweso aban dia enti no so be masika seed money obema asase oso abema initial as we speak aban ye ne dia wie enti mi hu ni enti aban bi e beba na obeka se National Cathedral no ye twen said yes if I can say National Cathedral nkofo diska nkofo ye say monies were given without PPA approval and in your nyoma e kan ni nyina no ene Attorney General say or say every money that was paid by government is legal. It was paid appropriately. It's what has been the issue, and this is what we have been saying from day one. Say the government at Jubilee House decided to do this thing and pay the money personally. Board in the and Kofosi Kana normal donated the buano and a board in the Bitua a workerska and no dibisu 8 year for the construction of the inn. Caprebekre ni wa me I did an accounting. I have gone through the books. If something was wrong, I would not have supported them at all. I mean, you're my lawyer. But I go through integrity and the credibility of the people who are sitting on the board. Now, me show how these people were bastardized, how these people were actually criminally ABC ne, and this about government to move for 11 months in you. Still, after the PwC about competence test audit. Integrity audit, review of investigations. As I say, but maybe one question. Supposing you say even the chairman, for argument's sake, chairman they discuss. Does that mean that the construction of cathedral must stop?
No.
For example, if you have a ministry, no minister no better and a chief director ne diska, it be good ministry. The ministry will carry on do its work, but the person who has done something wrong will be dealt with, as is done everywhere. And actually, I don't see where the government's position is. Is it that it's going to take precedent of the construction of the cathedral? Now let us look at the flip side. President Mahama was the one who led the building of the National Mosque. Solid. I'm in support of him. It was, or facilitating, I didn't see, but 1,400 squatters were on that land. Yet the 3 days they used because we needed the land for the National Mosque. President Bazi also $26 million a car. The hardboard. No audit. How the debt came about, no audit. And they said, I see what we are. Also, Obaisi Hajj village. I'm home. And it's a government ticket. It will go on because he has the power. Also, a friend said 5,000 for Hajj, he's prepared to pay for them to go.
Yeah.
No problems. Hajj, a friend saying Islamic University, government expenditure, Obetua. Islamic Bank, Obetua. I set up a Hajj board. Your auditors and you set up a board, Nana. I didn't know Christopher different. Is it because Nanado, President Nanado, former President Nanado, and a Shas Indiana?
It went through Parliament. It was approved by Parliament.
The other time I was,
I didn't know born another day the baton because it's the whole of Ghana that accepted. Yes,
it is the stench. Nanado no so no. That is what they ran from 2021. Stalled the building of the The only thing that stalled this building of the cathedral was the fact that this acrimony, lies and deceit that's been thrown into the eyes of the people about the legitimacy and the of the cathedral. And a man now be donating. It was starved of funds, which obviously was how Nanado pitched. So government by any day now man for so now, remember our example. Who's the independent churches? They don't survive over the period of time. Turkey. They had 7 independent churches, mega churches, in another country near Christian base. Because of national monument was not set up for the church to be imprinting then. And 70 million of the population are Muslims. Yeah. 25,000 penny Christians. Some independent churches here, maybe a papa na okita church no so free mu no ko say pe na church na o tell be hu ni 10 years na church ni hobi. Where is the footprint of Christianity in this country? It must be a state institution. I just say years and years, hundreds of years to come. Sa cathedral no be siwo. Na cathedral na kasa nso enyansafo na omotie no omiye in such a way say it will fund itself. There's a commercial engine attached to it. Yes, it be depend on government. So government in the sika baba here, and a huge part of the support to build the cathedral was coming from people. Somebody promised to give 100 million, but because of Okujato, Kodi Koka say, "Ayomu diska 2.6 million here. You need to know." Meeting or setting up for the chairman to go to that meeting, he pushed back. And more. To say a gentleman, he can say, "Obi oho 50,000 every year for the building of the cathedral." What could 50,000? Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, 72% of the population of this country. We pay more taxes than anybody else. We have developed schools, hospitals, and other infrastructure in this country when the government didn't have what it takes. Yeah, after Christian base, the teachings of Christianity is love and not to antagonize other people and the rest. And that is, you see, that is the nature of Ghanaians now, because Christianity has been endemic in the system. The same way Islam. Why is it that one side of the religion is being given everything And the other side, who has not even asked government to give them to pay for one pilgrim to go anywhere. The cathedral has become an issue. Why is it an issue? My question is, why has it become an issue? Why PWC? For what? PWC today. And no mobile
investigate.
PWC for the over 7 million Ghana cedis for them to do the audit. 7 million Ghana cedis. For what? OSP, I am investigation nil. NIB, I am investigations nil. Shraj, I have investigation nil. Delotion too, which is bigger than PWC. Oh my audit. And the baby naka. And the president day, utia. To a numutio say shit. They said the attorney general can. Attorney general says everything was done legally. The other bit of it is private sector who are giving donations to it. It is not under the government and a company limited by guarantee. And to mama kwine, the president said they'll facilitate your friend is saying mosque no in facilitation. Give people contracts to come and donate for the day because when I hear public officer number 1. I didn't know my baby sir. 72% of the population, I believe they voted for you in the next election. Let some of them, some of the pastors are ignorant. They claim, of course, they are.
How?
Because they claim, say, they are men of God. If that cathedral, Obisa may see cathedral for the why you doing?
Make fun say the idea of the cathedral, the news about the cathedral, was it preached out very well? Yes, selling ideas from Ghana for 1 year.
Me Christian.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the cathedral.
You didn't do anything.
Yes. When I read the documents, most of the people who sat on the board were pastors. And they have churches in this country. Yes, cathedral. I be national cathedral. BBC a honey be kwakobo. BBC be koye. Last year see koye President Mahama ka say 1st July prayer day. E fa ne koye. Because obi be so be kwa Ashin church because we Catholic. Obi be so be kwa Kodesh because or a Presbyterian. Obi be so kwa na sorry. But where is our focal point? If the state has a cathedral, that is the focal point of Christianity. All the churches might fizzle out, but that will remain because the state holds it as part of its monuments. It's in a Ghana monuments, museum and monuments for and a handle at the end. And if there's any state function, I acquire a young paibo because I 5,000 sitter. If the president, a president will you, a president be no ka na se wa. They will see it, but also this was one of our presidents. And even you see at our mills, there be a slave tree, a tree, and you man. You do fire and almost souls who almost cry every day. How can that be Asumji? As Christians, we need the cathedral as a focal point or the footprint of God in this our country. Enti ye paucho Mr. President Mahama. Make a U-turn. The times is spent. The days have gone. The years have eroded. It is time for you to make a decision. As for PWC, I don't think they will come up with anything different from what all these people have come up with. Forensic auditor, competence auditor, integrity auditor. Who are you integrating? Where is the competence? What is it?
I see.
There's nothing. We have gone through it. There's nothing.
There's nothing there. Mami Musa said, do you foresee that apart from being stalled, the cathedral not being stalled, is there a possibility that it will continue? And now say,
history has told us that if you read the scriptures and stuff, building a church of such magnitude for any for God, Abraham said,
I see.
Abraham because on him says a lot of people don't call hell. On be saved, no matter heaven. Into a macro man in Sada. Yesterday, Jesus Christ, I didn't see Herod. To saw him biba into a day. Kumkwala said he hoped, say, said the Juma or Barbayan or the old to me. aden abrosam ye o convince Judas Iscariot say asa ko chire ba bi o woni enfa no nkonko fa no enfa no nko ni goku udim say killing of Jesus and the resurrection of Jesus was going to bring Christianity all over the world. What did they make an answer? It is not easy. I see it as part of the but as for cathedral, yebesi. Whether in this time or another time, yebesi.
No matter what.
Yebesi.
I see. So people who advocate and say Mfanya the foforo and all that, and you don't agree with those people.
It's ignorance at the highest level. Till my mama always say, and then I'm an incrophobic. The policies that will determine the success and the progress of the youth of this country is not the cathedral. It is government policy. So, okay, the youth in this country must be empowered. Number one, education. Two, taken through certain paths to hold the economy. So that when they grow up, they will be the new leaders of this country. What is happening? When your policy, no, they will grow. Because a nipa no na kroni ya omo de anya dan no obi si dan enne 20 years ta hu sa dan na dada onpebiu but who develop nipa ba ko within 20 years no why great when yeska why ye who foreign shops you see my memomudi no foreign shops are AC big malls AC baby kona baby abefa bia ohumo your constitution say won't mean sell kutuo no ni no na enya no moto supermarket ho. What has government done about it? Yenkola injuma ena omo fa. Because when him say trade no na see ebeye wa ha. Na ye gisika no, o produce ade no obi anto a, bere no nyesika. Trade no, enti omo ba, trade no omo pe. Won wo si akosi Ghana mo wo bebi da. Ye no omo kura en trade. Enti WTO rules no does not even give us a yama omo kwa no omo nyesa anyoma no. But the trade minister has to come up and say, there is dumping going on in this country and it is taking away the jobs of the youth. And it has to be dealt with. Now, how do you deal with it? Yeah, when you're my baby, would be good and confirm making sure that they are not going to subsidize their people to come and sell their things here and kill the textile and the bone say suffer. Because you're quite China near the Aba. It's a say you develop bone now I supply the whole world. The ecophobia. Person will take it trade normally. What is the government doing about it? Afe egrofo mu nya adwuma. Omo low income. Omo disability. Ya de mra achechire omo sase utimi wiade, utimi fo obi ade. It definitely you cannot steal. But the human being is created in such a way that he has to eat. Into this God better do another no be. Onwia. Certainly. It is so we know the number of all these people and give them some money every month so that they can sustain themselves. Ubesha, President Kufuor Baye, capitation grant, education, NHIS, health, school feeding, food, matromas,
free maternal care.
Free maternal care. It is to alleviate the hardships of the people. Nana the boss is saying.
Free switches.
Joe Mahama about a 24-hour economy. He wants to push the trade. But the foundation is to make sure that you supplement these people whilst you drag them into the system for them to be able to hold that which you have created. And yes, our foreigners, ebeba abeji. Omaye. Ediskano akomukro. Until charity begins at home. Let us believe in our people. And let us put structures in place to strengthen them and empower them to move in this cause. As for the idea, cathedral and idea, it is religion based. And that is what has made us who we are. Religion, Christianity, Islam, and a fetish priest in Yom Noma. So that is why the
focusing your attention there, focus on the policies that will bring the people out.
Will bring the people out. Until the soccer will stop the building of cathedral there. You are telling 72, some of the people might not even know what is going on. But 72% of the population are Christians. They believe in Christianity. Is it fair?
That's the big question. Is it fair? Finally, what will you tell Ghanaians? Meaning, there are a lot of issues. Maybe a minute or two. For something. So you are just a strong advocate for the cathedral, but
solidly behind the cathedral. Masa, me say, Ghana fwe a Christopher, even chief imam, national chief imam, donated towards the building of the country. Why did he do that? He's an Islamic guy. Because it is a good thing. He saw it as a good thing. Okay. If your neighbor is in good stead, it means you have peace. If your neighbor is in bad stead, it means you come and steal from you. Yeah. I'm telling Christians, wake up from your slumber. Christian community, wake up. Pastors of this land, wake up. Because it happened in Turkey. 7 major churches. It fizzled away because there was no focal point. They were competing amongst themselves for people. And they do some time, they fizzled away. And today, where is Turkey? It could happen in Ghana. It's in Munyai de Moyanu. Namon joining near Nsi Cathedral in Siwo. Then the footprint. Because when you see the cathedrals in other countries, everywhere did 200 years, that's Siwo. 300 years is Siwo, ko France, ko England, ko Germany, ko America, ko even in Russia. The cathedrals are there, the monuments are there to show that Christianity was the foothold in those places. Right. And after a tourist attraction, the yes, a carpet, yes, is our type in Ibiwa. Integral beba to come and see. Bible museum to come and research. Bible garden, and then the restaurants and the rest of it, auditoriums in your man.
Spend the country money.
Make a lot of money for the country. Into a debut. See a person the Koya Cultural Center. Hey, a Daniel see Yamia and Yamno, yet the Koya Cultural Center. God is the creator, and we are his creation. Let us not begin to go above him, because he's a jealous God. He will visit the iniquities of the fathers unto the children, and unto the 3rd and 4th generations of them that hate him. Into be answering who's here. Nyamia 7 years.
Nyamia Semno, lawyer Charles Owusu Dankwa. Thank you very much this evening.
My pleasure, my brother.
But I see. Right, I know Emma, you're tuning. So that is it. Lawyer, God bless you. Right, Enti, Yavetwaso, Ewhana, Yahwe. Enyema, Ewose, Yedi, Eho, Enkomo, Abejafono. Eba na womo eba democracy no etwaso but me enko ne hwe video si 102 wo message obetimi e dey 0551599933 the messages are coming and then we will be reading them as and when and then Dr. Simon Boating ewoha miamenu Prince Obri Yeboa onoso ewoha tracer Professor Smasapo na beba na Solomon Anane onoso aba abepim eba me enko na yenhwe videos ba komienu bi ansa na nkometwe no ye de ahyeso yenhyase from the camp of Alhaji Mamudu Baumia ene nipa insia womo ehwere womo enkwa womra womo ekwa akopɛ adwuma womo for enlistment and I say womo kopɛ employment in the Ghanaian forces ene Dr. Baumia ene wonwa womo ekodi sansenseme no woni womo esu yentie nsema Alhaji Dr. Baumia ede etudwa.
I just want to remind all of us that yesterday a tragedy struck Ghana at the Elwak Sports Stadium, and I'm really speaking with a heavy heart as I speak on this issue, because young men and young women went to look to try to get a job. And in the process, 6 young ladies, only ladies, lost their lives tragically yesterday. My deepest condolences on my own behalf and on behalf of the party to the families. They are grieving, their loss is very deep, and we don't know even what words we can offer to give them some comfort.
The Airwork Stampede nankasa yenko the Minister of Interior ho enano ena ono ekasa no de tuja say enam the actual abusiafo nti ene ye automatic slots edema family members a womu adehye womu ehwrom yenko ti the Interior Minister ekan edefa ensemi ehom
should review
na yehye yen say ye beta abusuachi na yetimi apel omukra na the odiatu ye ni mo district and constituency hanso minister ɔhwɛ yɛsikasɛm so ɔno a na ɛyɛ mp wɔ ha sisi anso ɔno a na ɛhwɛ akyire ɛwɔ ministry of defence ɛsɛ nkyɛn pii mu ne atɔyɛ nkyɛn a ɛto ɔman no a na minister of defence ɛka ho nti yɛbɛpii n'akyi na yɛne ɔno ɛdi ho nkɔmɔ na yɛde ato mampanin so anim yɛbɛsi wɔn ho asɛm biara no yɛde ɛho mmuayɛ ɛbɛbrɛ mu ɛwɔ ɛno so na deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu a ɛyɛ nsianan mu no ɛm sɛ yɛbɛka sɛ yɛtwa fufuo na atɔ nkwan ɛho aseda deɛ yɛde bɛma mampanin sɛdeɛ mampanin kaeɛ no onua biara a ɔbɛn no a obetimi adi soja ne bi yɛde ma no aboa biribi saa nso ni hɔ na nsianan mu sɛnea abusua ɛbɛgye atom biara no ɔmo ma yɛasote a ɛno nso animanimu yɛ a yɛbɛtu ho anam yɛda mo ase.
Right, we are the Deputy Defense Minister, Yura Bruja Jemfi, and now Tisodi and some to Jan Martin, some no. Mentiasi say obi akwa akotwa torienche mu na say wewu a yetwefufu ma no tonkwa mu ma ne yi that statement I think it should come back and then state it well because well anyway yen kasa ne yenko nkusua ne yi as I will say yen put in well na yen hwe ho ensem na yen ka enso ho we yenra broja Jemfi na ode ensem enso to edwa na Elwak Stadium disaster na kasa na minority leader the parliament say omomodin na afi yen hwehwe ensem no emu yi na yen hu sede ho ensem yen ka yen yese ye de ano keke ene ye ka yen no mosuko yen hu ensem no sede wo na de o se bono de bono no yen fa ensem no bono yen kotie Alexander Afenyo Markins ensema ode etudwa.
Yes, the minister briefed us on the occurrence. However, interventions, measures to be taken are matters that, Mr. Speaker, are very important to this House. It is important for the minister to be programmed to share with us what steps the military high command is taking to prevent the reoccurrence of this matter. The respected minority chief whip in his statement called for certain actions to be taken. Mr. Speaker, we shouldn't have parliament as a mere talk shop. Our condolences to the bereaved families, but this is not one of the matters that we should just talk about and allow it to die. 6 young citizens losing their lives because they're looking for a job. It's very important. Some are still in the hospital, and Parliament.
We Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markins now to say what they and 7 etudwa videos ne doso by fancy ha na afi mema bejafo mama bana kwaba minu aba kamensa the crense minu enso eba beka minsa na yatoa so minu Prince Obri Yeboa ewo ha oye banker and a financial analyst ono ye bibie bi minu mojo
Kwabena Mejoso
na boko die
obade adarum bibia eboko
de nyame asepa ana minu akuma ba ko so ha Dr. Simon Boatin doc na boko die
nyankopon adom
de nyame ase
wahwe so
de nyame ase
ama yenti musu ne san nyankopon so adom Dr. Brian Champion adwuma no so according ding also chow no tie for anyway Ghana's hope MDP's the new dawn the new hope Dr. Brian Champion
yes Brian for they get the least opportunity they Brian they get a least opportunity they Brian
so obviously the Brian new day
they are for peace
and unity as simple as
anyway you can say Professor Smasapon Baba Kenson afi Solomon Anane ono so Baba but yes share na yenhwe the budget no emu ensensem ne kanano ya woda and the finance minister at the omeya kombo ho ensem sikasem ebeto Ghana man anim afia ebesimu no sika ne Ghana etwa se sienya kwan ebefa so ebedi no ena wode ebeto ho na Me sure see betting delve deeper into all of them. There are certain aspects of the budget that we want to look at. Na yahwe eho ensem na yaka. Now we are looking at the big push. That will be one area. I was measure say yebeka na yedi eho enkomo. Big push no. Aye enema mampanin eneni eda super. Oka 24-hour economy no, but yan said de nyano 24-hour economy no said ye. I was say ye nyano no Emma and the minority in parliament cry about my day because Wabekasa went to me and 24-hour economy, but I'm not sure they didn't talk about the 24-hour economy. It spoke about the 24-hour economy, but maybe the details as to how the 24-hour economy should have been no and yenya. Anti ene yebehwe eho na yedi enkomo enso ede afa ho na yahwe the stability of the economy because Ghana cedi no as against the dollar yebehwe eho nso na yedi enkomo ede afa ho na yahwe. But one major area I want us to look at is the 6-lane highway from Accra to Kumasi that is expected to be completed within 3 years. We'll be looking at that area as well. Na yahwe ensem. Mamesha say FM free Prince Ho na yenhwe the budget no kakra. But mamema minua Solomon anani. I fresh you. Solo.
Na me buy acho.
Sa. Na uma.
There be some me came na me chikati kada tikwa me frame mala me say program na maso ye go fiana because me share say odi ma me hu kati da bia
Na say
enti ti kati da no say na me frame me dem me ko view na program ye maso ana no say amemra na I cannot mind no and I say of
I know there's an yenye omo nka do ka kati da ba kokore no ni hawo a pre-way before the program.
So I was surprised. It became sorry. But it became just your home.
Anyway.
There are some men that want to see.
Anyway, cowboy ho bai.
Me ho.
Na keka ho an cowboy ho bai. The cathedral no.
You get master for no.
Mate.
You be an order.
Mate.
Ke so so ho ifu.
Me sa. You dey yam.
No, aban papa e infectious. Enti enya one person ai. Obi aye. On say esai.
Okay.
Abapa sai.
I see.
On say baby na mete da ban. Ka chew. And I'm to go the nyame.
Say the otia honyo.
Septia honyo.
That's it. My yes say.
Na ke odi nyandu wase o. Ono ko na dio. Ni nuanom bi su.
Sa o.
Just say nipo fa nipa 100 e mu be 10 tisa nanemu. Solomon na ye mu be 90 no.
Almost Mate.
Baby, they all say you catch you up and say. I've said this time with that number that we are serving the God of time. Anybody be named say you so much about okay with it.
Me aware pa.
Even in 2012, I'm your original executive. And no me so. But I never complained. I was a teacher moving from Jabin to this place. Your pump program 10 o'clock. Let me see ma. Me area kusa na njetwa untiminda.
This is what we do.
Kwa kwan na se na moya kwan no so okay. Kwan you rough to move from here to Jabin. Me do 11:30 me kono to bed so twa me. And that is struggle we've been through all this while. And I encourage my young comrades. Almost was small so pan say. Aye party a penifo hwa de. Na me say gidi say nyame mre. Wọ́n sẹ́ ẹ̀mìrẹ́ ní bá so kai David story no was so but man the time do yẹn no ọmọ yẹ parody omi yẹn náà nǹkan ho but ebi sọ ọmọ sẹ ọmọ yìí náà nie
sẹ ká baako bi a
nti we are serving the God of time doctor ẹnu no so
okay
ẹnu no so
wẹnsu
but wàá laptop on fab o kú sẹ one day ebedu no so.
But that's it. Thank you. Press your clock.
Boss, you better wanna go for your
budget. Overview kakra. Just briefly. Now for yes no.
Yeah. Ye tiefo any afefo ye hia ha eniji semonko ti sometimes we abonten na hu say heat na kwosoro a memfa ne say ye ko ye sifoma say the last week akoka nyina na uba bom Hussein ne na ye ko ba na de pasolu eda ye the best kwabra na no ya wada nyame boai ema the second reading of the budget from the John Mahama's president. That's the second coming. Now, it was very reflection, sitting back, hearing the finance minister, and also taking the pain, at least. And I've read through twice. There are so many interesting things in the budget that it needs to. But said the semi borrow from Stika or say atoya there or comporto no whole the presentation, the submission, all were on point. Now into the details. They gave an outline on the global outlook, a commentary about Ghana's relationship with the IMF. That is paragraph 34. A Kasade Fahon projecting how the global growth is na okasafa hon na wade toto Ghana de hon. It means that Ghana is doing higher above the global projection by IMF. According to the paragraph 34, he's saying that 2025 year the global economy was expected to grow by 3.2%, whilst next year is projected to grow by 3.1%. But also Ghana's own projection now, it is above 4%, which is higher than that of the global threshold. No, it is good. There was also issues about the revenue performance. Gold reserve, according to them, has improved or has increased from has increased by 137.7 kilos within the last 8 months. That is, we all know that when it comes to the gold reserve, especially when Ghana city fall with the advice from the expert spearheaded by the former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, on the need, say, any country with a solid gold reserve, it helps you to stabilize your local currency. So the current regime is also following suit, at least per the budget I've mentioned. They said they have added 137.7 kilos. Ninyina boa ema economy near then efa ntoma pefra. On the overall, when you also read on the export and service, paragraph 74, paragraph 76, he's saying that export and service has also improved from 10% to 11.5% from the previous benchmark. It means that we are also exporting more. So this can be linking to why probably the cedi is stabilizing and a lot of inflow. On inflation, I don't want to talk about it. Ghana for then and there's an interesting making and link it to the comment from the opposition party. I also had the privilege 8-year Dr. Amin Adam. Especially the comment on the government not spending and specifically the lack of confidence in the government because of treasury market na umiti the target no. Again, uti ato on the paragraph 100, it talks about the domestic interest rate. Kwabena Kaya 2 years ago, me no one betna has a me ba na me kuta pipa bi. Anna maybe catcher said that was after the debt exchange. When the whole expert on the financial market Asia, they mentioned that the threat to the successful debt exchange of Ghana program was the domestic market borrowing, because that time they need to focus on the external debt exchange arrangement. So they were advising the government that the biggest threat our money be facing continuous borrowing by the government from the domestic market. And as at the time now in December, now as at December ending, anybody who wanted to invest in the treasury bill was getting a return around 28%. In Tisobekaya this year, around March 14th, an upper program be known a bay. Emame that time na ye reduce or the government has reduced treasury bill rate from 28 to 14.5. And Ambekacha say if something is not done, people were going to quickly convert their money and buy into the dollar. You remember that those conversations. Now the result is what Ato is telling us, that they have been able to save over 8.8 billion. Ninyina, the summary of all these financial indicators I'm mentioning is that Abainebo all bono, because he's not paying so much interest rate on the domestic borrowing, Abuano ama by the end of the day no tablet how much abana borrow aboa no kwan bebre so kwabra enyama bebre na ekoso there was a when you read on the paragraph 151 and then Atokasa in one of the sister station he drew the whole nation's attention to that portion that there was a forced payment demand. Chese abayno new abayan buy there was a demand of about 68 billion. Encrophobi chese my render service ediama abayan, but after the audit about 10 billion has been described as inaccurate. So and also it's an area that one needs to look at it. Then he mentioned power purchase agreement. One of the best things that was in the budget that Abane has been able to negotiate and reduce the legacy debt by 250 million Ghana cedis. The net effect is that the power that we are getting from the power producers, even the price per unit consumption has come down. Unfortunately, electricity bill continues to go up. I know Solo will not agree with me because according to him, the price as the producers are giving to the state, that's why they at it. But it's a good thing moving into the future. Cocoa board, excellent remarks that the cocoa board has been refinanced. I am very much aware. I have a lot of colleagues. Some of them are watching me today. Some few months ago, there was a call that the company was collapsing. According to them, there has been a refinancing. Quite a very interesting one. And budget, I wish you will get enough time to read through. When you read paragraph 147, he talks about abuse of import declaration or import declaration form. When they explain it, it tells you how Ghanaians are milking the whole system. When I heard him mention, I quickly went into the budget and I tried to read it to get the best understanding. According to them, according to finance minister, a lot of sika are being exported or sent from the country. Obi oha no abefeska o made sika na ekọ China akọ akọfa nema aba. Sika ne kwa enema ne nyeden ema. Ebi wo so na so mu di sika ne kwa akọfa nema ne ba. Na se ebi a eye car na ehye container ni mu a they substitute no makacho se bi a eye nkra atade. So the net effect is that they underpay the expected revenue na necessary man enya no. He's telling us that wetimi aye adwuma ma ene Ghana sanye man etu eba bitua. But the sad aspect of it is that so far per his estimation the nation has lost more than 11 billion Ghana cedis right from 2020 to 2025. And on they talked about the anti-governance and anti-corruption arrangement whereby they are coming out with the conduct of public officers bill to check the public officers on the public debt reduced from 61.8%, that is a reduced from 726, that is 61.8% of GDP to 45.8%. Now, interestingly, external debt has also declined. The reason debt exchange now abanon, and again since they took power in the last 10 months, they had not also borrowed much. But the major factor has to do with the debt exchange because most of the things that concessional arrangement. Domestic debt has also increased considerably, but the interest that is domestic debt has increased from 309 billion to 311 billion. But interesting, payment element of it has decreased because they have reduced the interest component from 28% to an average of 10% at least the last 6 months. Decline yield. Now, the interesting analogy when I mentioned Dr. Ami Adams' comment and mentioned to the fact that Ghanaians or the public, the investors are not don't have confidence enough in the government. That is why the T-bill market is being undersubscribed. Kwabra, I beg to differ. The reason being that it's a deliberate government policy to minimize
reliance on the T-bill.
The reliance on the borrowing. So okay budget, I am trying to get the exact outcome. Under the financial sector reforms, he mentioned that the financial sector is over dependent on the government treasury bills, and last year will be in the history of this bank country as a year banks performing very well despite all the debt exchange and what have you, because on the average we were getting 25% returns on the treasury bill. Kwabena, if I'm getting 25% on my investment, why should he give it out as a loans? Until that decision to reduce that rate from 28 to the 14. Current 14, now even 10%, you know, the government wants us to shift our attention from relying or continuous investing in the treasury bill, but rather yemfasikan emma adwadifo na yente interest rate, so policy rate has come down and what have you. Probably assemble akoso amete a anya me de bebre has to do with the comment to the effect that ebesine after the financial sector clean up, no, there are still a lot of people are in omuka. The number is around 55,379, and also I think that can be found on paragraph 231, and the amount involved is almost 2 billion. I thought that the financial sector clean up now, all the issues hovering it has been addressed, but Ato is reminding us that there are a lot of things say on the rating agencies, all the 3 rating agencies, S&P, Fish, and why Women has upgraded the Ghana. Again, when you read paragraph 841, he talks about an establishing value for money office. I think political actors will make a lot of debate, but already your public procurement authority, I try say me reading the concept of it, but what they are saying is that there are too many shoddy works air coso and Kofonia Sika and answer or mining Sika the man Kofoa and had their umuye. So this agency na ye barber establishing is going to ensure that say you catch yourself top pen we bra with this standard there, it meet the same requirement. I wonder if
and on the bar, what will become of the public procurement authority?
I don't know. That's why
what will
I
become
don't want
of that one. The other normal resource and
yes,
change maybe near maybe or normal more jumane and cost emwa. Anyway, I don't want you are not the right person to be asked that question.
I will wait and get a detailed briefing about it so that we can all add our voice. Kwabena, on the microeconomic policy objective, all of us knows that sustain the growth, stable the currency, and what have you. On the big push, Accra Kumasi Expressway. Let me say that Semena meye president here and Kanya no na meye.
Sir.
Inti ubi a wotie mi bia enti asem na make nie. But to me ni mi ho. Inti on the face of what it is now, I'll be tempted to say otimia ya ebeboaye. By the grace of God, metu kwa man bebre su owiase som. Ewiase mu. De me di mani akohunu. The mahweni TV show any the medemensaka. I do not think that at this material moment, be at that lane no aneye. Why do we still stress ourselves Accra Kumasi with another road? Abra ye railway service at the Mayenia 2 hours from Manchester to London. I always cite this example. Manchester to London, it's almost the same kilometers from Kumasi to Accra. What train?
2 hours.
2 hours. One of the safest mode of transport. However, Sabana Ninko Honest or say obey we are. I can only pray that obetimi aye amanabas. But as I'm your president here. And Kamenyano. Kame train. Inti will be in Timmy Menkasenye.
Right.
A preference. And I'm using Ghana phone to Abanya Dane. Emma men. But solo betime. Now what the Akoma Bayan. And me fra cry ba after Nkoko. Once again there was a crash on the road. It took me more than 1 hour. And send a meeting abedu Buankra Adieno. Say way ba ebeboa. But if there was an option of railway service, there's no way some driver kwa krada.
All right. So
Kwabena, in summary, I was just giving up the key areas that I observe. I think that the budget reflects a lot of aspiration of Ghanaians, especially the vision of the government on the agricultural sector, or linking the production of the agricultural produce to the value chain, special arrangements or by special dedicated roles. I be farm produce. I then about market centers. It's a good thing that we must applaud the government. If you ask me, it's okay. We can only hope and pray that it will not be a paper work. But so far, looking at what they have achieved the last 10 months and the projection they are giving, I think I agree with them. But I'm a fan now. One quick one. I am not a fan of tax revenues. Baby, within the first year, they tend to abolish so many taxes. Now I'm speaking as a finance person and as an economist. I can give so much historical analysis. When you pick up from former President Kufuor's budget in 2001, there were a lot of things that they said against the then President J.J. Rawlings. There were a lot of taxes that was abolished. OPK 209, Professor Moss budget here, it's in the same line. 2016 or 2017 was worse. Yet now near Frebibi nuisance taxes. Kwabra, the net effect is that in our bid to inspire hope to our followers, the government focused so much on abolition of taxes. After our first year, second year, third year, now reflecting, we end up introducing so many taxes. Honestly, so far the government has abolished e-levy and on the verge of abolishing COVID-19 levy. When you look at the aspiration of the president, or for that matter the government, free SHS is on course. The first year financing of tertiary students, and also is adding to the wage bill. The persons with disability full coverage. In my candid view, you ought not to abolish so many taxes as they are doing. When you read quick, I will mention the paragraph where they are trying to make an analysis. I think paragraph 715 about the total revenue of the state as against that of our expenditure. From all benchmark, the government is falling short on the revenue realization. And looking at what they intend to do, I would have thought that Martin Haka, e-levy, should have probably reduced the margin and tell Ghanaians that you are looking for a dedicated funding for free SHS. They want to on final politics.
All right.
Because e-levy, you go no free SHS, you go there, it's no go here. So Kwabena, that's my big worry. We first year now, by a second year, na dia kota huchim in the shortfall of revenue. Necessary IMF. I pray we will learn from our lessons and will not fall into the same ditch. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We Prince Obri Boa and Otin and Kano. My Professor Smasapon Akwaba. Na Mimusa Zanipom to say. Prof.
Yeah, Minia.
Good evening.
Yeah, near.
Now, who ye?
Yamia do what I say. Nice one.
Kwaba so.
Yeah.
Right. But Yabaho, but my member solo na yenre budget no. Minti ono so kakra na afei. The akano yentroso. So
I then many interesting question be.
Say
I'm say we don't need the problem boy.
Who be some question?
But over the Bongana for Asian.
Me
young chap been sending me question. I say, Pasolo, do you know any member of JM's economic management team? Kyori, do you know any of them?
I know.
Oh, sir. And yet they are the vice president will change.
So, and I will be.
The finance minister will be there.
No, I will be.
And the ghost
simply put, so presidency now, I'm advising on the economy.
Now, initially, I thought say, then or patchy. But margin ABC Casa Biche, Uncle who needed it.
Okay.
So, all says, and Yama enjoying now, and Kofobia or Moncasa, actually.
Okay.
And I can carry but they're not talking.
Anyway,
and begin at TV soon, hey, a solid team, Dr. Why, Professor why? Yeah, why? I will see the drift. Very good question. But budget, you know, and I'm not paying my casa and I think say for the first time a lot of Ghanaians see who say there's a reason why we should vote. Ntomo mu ye ntoba obi frame na no solo abai man tubia anke be ha me pa. Now I'm proud say metima John Dramani Mahama. And I'm say ade. And I'll tell me dwa wodi and significantly how aniama esi abafo. Osolo mi fi akwa animu mato aniama ya che. Na mra ebo no timba fom encha na ahuri. But ejina a check akra say de meni hu bi a che. John Mahama wo hia na adana semaye. Abatwo ensunsanso eno no. Na gains Ghana yenya enya kwa. I've heard people asking obi kura say John Mahama ye bad pa. Wa che da dia gada akoshe ba bi kona bi ena wo yesi gagare ma no. Esa say they are shocked and surprised. Be asike free ba a jam ene ne apamfo. Ede ye ne mo yina. Mo amoka sai na ne mam yenu na edi ahimsa bre. Kane na Ghana sika no. Ye digu kantemu. Asensuo. Cheguma na enyuru sa. Ene Ghana sika no. Egu bucket mo atoko bi anda ho. Sika no guma ye hu edidi adwuma. Sika na enyuru ye bi sika mame nkotu honorable Kennedy Japan. Or say that people in government are stealing. I say there's no tomorrow. Omu bi sika so china bi ani ho. With left right with abundance impunity. Sika no mu bia. Ene nyame ncha de. Sika we gina beto. Enti enye wanwa. Say every financial indicator. Na nye financial indicator nkwa me maka. Say me pem people obetima chasin pieso. Say dog ti hey. No ka de ba ko a. Ansa no mu fi aban mu no. Na eye chen ene. One thing. Say bia ye ko na petrol bo form chen ne. Ye ko na inflation form chen ne. Ye ko na nkoda we free SHS edidi omodua na omudi. Kan se obeti a na e koko sakora o. Wa du sugar na kwaje Prof Eden Pampa o. You say usu sugar call dane na kwaje pampa. And no mu dido na twi pan no ayey. In every facet of life. Na another pay me can budget me bra paying akasa. And that's a true reflection of what we are going through. And you market you be the hame answer na masimu no. Enti ye pese Ghana for this ankomo no. Me ma me auto nkoko. Sem bisa se mine. Enche bia na broboto na ye 1200 cedis. Siche na no boarding pa. Tina musa koko 3 cedis. Kuma bi na na maye. Ke odi uti. And then broboto 400 cedis. Siche bo aba form. Sa koko 3 cedis ma me na ton no. What is so?
Asante koko no so.
Ati koko no so. Enti ede na ekoso. Ka kuma yi mu fese vet. Ekoya ko do data na meboa.
Na dollar 120 kura.
120. Oh sa. Okay 120. Na dollar 17 cents na meboa. No mo ton ka na sa abo no. Ye di sidda koto dollar. Now buy import duties no. Now it is quoted in dollars. To do also na so boy din. And then Bank of Ghana send us $1. 10.99 and meboa. My man 12.
Oh, 10.99 10.99.
10.99. This aka no na 17 CD to 17 17 cedis to $1 and the cotton. So they are about 10.99. Now we import which is car what the good ship man say $1 and ameboa. And then so ship a bon wedding be form. O ko your porter a bon ba form. E head na car no bo no enko form. Na sela no price no escalate. I think say handles of the economy. Me a science student. Oh moka the free market because generally Ghanaians are worried. Because among all these beautiful indicators, among Nyamapa, anywhere we are putting through, but truly, Okotofufua, now because top body are nearly fought.
It doesn't reflect.
No name. Body ye duania eba neko. Inti bronya breno body to be kwa open batim class ya na kwa atwi na boss me boa. Intu to body na ma me body fa 10 cedis a me so lo en ha me. Na se body ni bi ye nya bi kura nto. Body to me boa ma duro baako timba 26 and na body sisi mu ne we body wo pa ye dey na body duro 26 na sila do to body no body ni ko ya no twa 10 cedis nti no body ni bua ma duro aye 26 no sila no betim fa no so dey 10 and that is what I think say the handles of the economy and ordinary people should be explaining because a liter of petrol koya kodu 27 series na be by ever from Kwamokon na 17.99 and the petrol go and the benchmark me boa it is hovering at 12.5 the same petrol liter 17 series and then 12.5 nipa offer can should get some the way for no to feel something significant is going on within the system. But yes, sir, day in and day out, those who are important. Because I could tell me few days I could tell me because I say I was going to buy what is called a washing machine. Nando was so. Timon and Nipa solo. So see how you interested that. Don't have a phone pa. I was to pay 4,000. No, so wouldn't have 2,100 because don't have a phone. But I can import it for you. And a month 2,200. I said the other charges. In Teban also shipment fee. You can come visit at Genoa. Can be on the banoso. No, so 800. Timbetka 2,200 no one. Now yet 3,000. 3,000. You are 300. That's it.
So 800 at the count.
That'll be count
2,300.
2,002. Money 800 account. There were 3,000. Can I come man 4,000? I say bedua. Masa the shipment fee na dey aka ho enti significantly e be do and that's why dey at it but the oko shop akoto no say diners watching no he doesn't feel it and I think that disconnect any enuma pa me bra penya boso me pesa me ko no handlers of the economy must begin to be addressing this kind of issues because every we are there no mo ma chi yese dollar cost ro ntine ma buo cost ro this a me e wo form a we should feel it mami a uton koko e bi won say sira fufuo choba bi mese body we so be adwuma me kwa so twa phone 40 series be free o man to bufu ya minister but em bufu ayema hi so be ka je me say baba chaba we see me twa phone 40 series. These are purely problem for fans and I don't make sense. Why are we still where we are? The fundamental question I asked. Yes, I have helped people. Yes, I have
cosmetics.
I did cosmetics. Many cost of Kotadie. Since you are Anteso, I'm more Anteso. I'm more Anteso. I had them not Tomoni and Wasilano. I'm Shannon send me to quite. And na me call the banku na ise beka so me man no 25 cedis no nka banku mreme ti banku nko anti man no koma o so to mo 15 cedis eh bro mo no no to ba chemore 5 cedis and to be di ti na 25 no ti be di 5 boss akoma na me man be so yo obaya banku ma so I said then what is going on sela man no to ndoko no wo doku be say wo be say born of 7 cedis 5 cedis what's the problem? It is a disconnect into set from Phonica say, Yanti, Muna Mose Mayefo, but we're not feeling that. Also, elevated because truly, the handlers of the economy are doing well.
Yeah.
And everything should say, and Kagana had from Fono, or some Kenya little respite. Not you some things are in the order. Until the handlers, we are listening for this week in some kind because after listening to the conversation, it is right. But the best one boy go school. Now, can I say, well, package you. Ni amano lunch ni o se dada medical ko me ko koko no a ma me se do be say 4 cedis and also be bo float nti koko bo float 5 cedis koko 4 cedis nti woni 9 cedis o aside me ma me dia ma no ko signal na say na ma me se ye mo 2 cedis be jo motum na o mo ko do bia that be say think that can I go school o fa nya view but why my you so coming back nti mo moye ni nkomo no na igna yanka ni boadi na ekosra me ka se banche tumi ko na me boa boadi eko nti boadi eko ne yeto ne 10 na boadi a many problem but e baso a mo ma chamfo no se boadi na ide aba ene buboto 400 cedis from 1,200 why are we so commodity no ye bia gina ye ni nkomo ne mfa na I think that we all of us abai we ayade na menu ato e wo se e bo na baso share something is happening people are not watching. Is it not instructive say yenko the Fourth Republic aban bia ba afilie unti any scandal from any person in government was what it be. It tells you that this NDC we are doing something right and we are learning from our mistakes. But the whole government machinery one scandal because he no more few money and now bear in mind over first year still all the agencies in Kofo say who they are there we are here or see macho no be seen there. It tells you that the administration is being overly cautious. Now you buy see a soon Ghana, I'm a Ghana tea. Won't you some WSC? Say ECG. And some revenue. just so deficient nti ekofa special purpose vehicle be for the PDS buy and then some na meka ha na UCG just kanwa every month omunya 900 million Ghana cedis abai we buy am make his kanu afedi engu kentan mu biewo egu bagatim now UCG is making 1.7 billion every month, a whooping increase of 90% from 900 million. UCG today is making 1.7 billion. It tells you that something is being done right. Teboye refani egu kojoto ave no mo ya ne say not reservoir say honum we holding tanks e ma the BDCs for private for no kofa fuel ba no me egu tank nim egu wie na aban nani age promote Central Oil meboa because they say private refinery and now won't asam da aba that time oil refinery is now posting profit and repeatable and this bar will restore hope to the good people of this country o man no ye nya hihye and uko ufie now da kaniamu na kanianu mbonani a tikesie no and this here dey because go and watch the history of all the thermal plants and this budget an ambitious project ebisida 1,200 megawatts of a thermal plant. John Dramani Mahama, so we share my Ghana. Tikesi way a cold bit of blasting pole. I didn't way a good bit of blasting. But John Dramani Mahama Chasia or transfer was a share, not the abba. And you 1,200 megawatts in Kwani Adjuni home. You a trouble number 2 ever almost a Mahama. So no trouble. The only gas plant of Ghana. Can you know near Wahana? And gas Nigeria gas amukai wasibo dia ka matodru banum na Ghana yebufa so Professor Manson Jomama say that be o ban kon Ghana yetimi nkoto gas enfri Nigeria da bia yankasa yesi gas station efe na trouble MPP buy enfie wotwe sila Ghana gas ye flare bio by boss munche flare ni say gas ni ba yetimi process ye shigu wiem Jomama say that be yemfa a trouble number 2 embra iti adwini wenyina aya adwini a eye opanyini a odwini konkan dwini oman no ho pese oman ni di ye da ache na de sansam no eba na kokwakuafo atadwuma te dende wonum se kwadu kase a ye de bogana ye nyina menumenu ankofo kase ambobra ene se Malaysia for Ghana be share bedua yesa na mka kire ye ene abe amefefiri akoye thank you ene abe ama Malaysia ayeyi John Dramani Mahama say, starting from this year, Ghana ebabedua 100,000 hectares of palm oil plantation. Beautiful. Now the red gold, your friend red gold. Sika estimated job by the opportunity babano. Aya born because me biti jabbing. And the meaning the jabbing oil mills. Aye. And the meaning farmers are hold or one say farmers are omodo abe and now ko jabbing ko duanum. Now be say between cocoa and abe mean they are they will say abe because we say what you want to hear bibia we try how to call oil mills why at all. John Mahama say starting from this year or be 100,000 hectares. Now we have the land. Nyamia dumi as I say nyamia dumi bibia ya ha on saying ebio eniema ye bre eyesa authority of farming sikani aso kuayo no adwam ye hye ye kono ye meka bi ye hye kuafo bo say ye ba all the farm district you can say farm district this is me or ye nyafu ho kembe ndofu anameboa but adwadofu all the farm districts ye momo farm centers mechanized agriculture infidie na wo mutimi ntono aban ko taguo do so pua wom de koye adwuma na ya sa hye say infudie na wo mu badua no se be ya enye kwa all government institution SHS, school feeding, primary schools, obi a wo to ade bia make sure say eniema wo to de feeding korano eye eniema ye kuafo a e wo gan de dua e enye wonwa sa ban pa ba o man na obi a ho to no for the first time akuafo su say ye buru ye dua ye abusu ye ntimi nto John Mahama say Ghana ban ba hoso monkoto mo emofo say emu na busu ye ntimi nto o se monkoto na no mu from mantam mu dua jene say Mahama ye dua jene na busu na me de me say woman nyina ye abusi ye kodwo so a ya be ka different story actually but they couldn't say there's good news. Let us hold up in of education ya bobo me say me problem be ka chem say na bibi wo a na eye enra menase and no school feeding has been very good. Free SHS it is bebre mama bo twem also won twem ya ma ye ho an ambitious about 2 years say double track e be gu no Minoka say all second cycle institutions, 8 years alcohol, acquire assessment of all projects, they are still they are ongoing, and God fund have been mandated, contractors cost site, documentation be anyone from now. You say this in then also now are buying bring them to board. And again, would add up to make sure say in the next 2 years the double tax system will go. Say I'll buy way Kenya banya ubenya a reshimu na ubenya reto ewonumua na minimum bankroll. I have a publication here as far back as April. And now you Dr. Tufos and hint here. So we are going to end. Most of call media or call parliament. What say? Inflation will end at 11.5. But yes, and someone say the target par 8. They said the actually say it's a year. I finish soon. Will be end at somewhere 6.5. This is refreshing. Inflation on a permit. Pastor Lobo almost inflation. And so you are two name. Me patch your cast inflation 8. And we can say and tushi mu. Na kanya na ye 54 no. Say that here. What are there 100 now? But so much one kono. Na ye 154. MBB kono na about 23 na the chance say o to ade ende bo so me o sa contract ko na o beto no 123 and na about 80 asem dey say ade a o beto 100 no kwa o nto no 123 bio o beto say 108 just what it all right inti ama o kwa at least when your space be to plan inti I buy way and I only hope and pray say enyema pa ya sha sie nyankopon o ma yokodo hom ma ahomaso mo obia mu se me kae no se afia no ahia na yenya aban mu ni ba ko a ye ka se keta hye proye kankan dream ano de se kan ba bi no ankanom ye nko so sa na se yese ya Ghana fo be hu se aban no motuma ye no wo mo se obandaje to give it close to 2/3 majority in parliament meet your hope and we have no reason I stress here say NDC you need reason there to feed the good people of this country because omunya jide we mu na jide no ho abani bi
But that's a fee.
Or some common bed 3 hours. Because some dead.
Oh, your lecture. No. What days you are?
Now, days in some can know him.
So the ocean, yes, sir.
Me person come yet deep.
Castle, what days?
Me person me yet deep, sir. Not my channel, sir.
Oh, Mammy too, no, some of too. The water too.
Me that's it. Me Professor Bishop, Professor Job Kwefri.
Okay.
Or University of Education, Winneba, Geography Department. Prof. Oshamia. I mean, it's all share. Solo to see or chow. Solo. I KOD. Monganche solo. Budget. Any yet or maimu. Yeah, boy, and some more budget. Christ me. Me say the bia somewhere the bia make say Ghana for your ma history and idea. The bia be mistake budget. And a year boy and some. Opa yanko for 2020, 2012, MSC 2016. Budget ay papa John Mama na Accra ready. Na yen share Accra Kumasi Road the number of times they feature. Etina woti express road. Ewo budget mu a. O bo nsam. Just expenditure income frame. Adie bi I just say ni ebeye. Wo hu budget wo bo nsam Ghana ha.
There's no hope.
Me see, Opa, yemfa 2012, DBC 2016. Yemfa MPP, Bray Chamu. Na yenhwe Accra Kumasi Road, Express Road. The number of times I feature our budget in them.
That is the roots.
The number of times I feature our budget in them. And the budget for the mere fact say you're really budgeting tea. Your boy is some Ghana.
New one in the eba fak moda na befa kilo friends en continency Lake Bosom tree say befa suru say be wure mo ndie minim befa Lake Bosom tree
mesremo mususuma mo hontem
mayako prof the doc
mususuma mo hontem this Ethiopia ayi ahotadie bi o ahotadie bi ene ya adwen yes na solo kan bibi Kessben interviews are more ye ni ade no ozen ka mo trendy sini they are na me hu no me aha and me your friend say Traders Association president mu interview no and no say enumdwa na solomu dwa no enti sa wo port ho no muduru a o catch how and I'm quoting him directly and check krabe 2-3 months ago was see importer na export importer bi anywhere oye Christo ni papa. I'm quoting the man directly. That's what he said. Because also we do report wa e also chantro. Now also what the idea na ba who figures no whether cooked or whatever, because I'm saying cooked, it could be true or the otherwise, but probably it could be true because NDC for no my bida because mo statistics no mutimi cookie na akof so prof mo na statistician wait me so o mo kuku bi da ma e di how me ba nya wo de na meka dey Uzo kasa mangasa.
Look at me.
Look at me. Anya udia ukuku onya ndo basi so ma minye misro. Misro.
Son no.
Allow
him to finish. Look, allow him to finish. Mami too.
Na ukuki saa we na
what else was I got transfer
David okay NDC for cookie so lo nyawo NDC for cookie figures and reflecting amount for pocket na hwe emo o dey for the purposes of dollar CD we no
debate no
emo dey obehun se mo swati but you see wo hwe nuane na yedi no Ghana dodo na ne border so osoro
but there was banche bro so
do na it hasn't changed significantly. Enyano na you produce locally no. Opa kone kokohwe. Opa yanya market survey. Baja dey say. Ube say it hasn't changed significantly. It would say dollar bo kosro. But ye
dollar bo abafom.
Sorry, dollar bo abafom. Ba ye tia no ye di banche more. Ye di bayre more. Se nyame ena waboya ma me fa se season we nso 2020 enema bi bo kosra mumisa NDC for ne say ade ben ba me nka say yima no de mi a mumisa NDC for no say omo baye no production policy ben eno mo so omo de agu akwan mu a significantly affect ama bayre bo aba from a omo expect say ma me na wo ton bayre no ntene na ne nyoma so
the atro is force in nyina and you don't see any possibility and as obi a atro no force in nyina hu say
we force in figures so but the economy,
but not in reality
but the economy is your pocket and nothing else. Your car economy, the Bush explanation of the economy is individual pocket. Nesa me pocket more dua. You don't need this long lecture. Kokoya wosun. Kokoyi a wosun. Oba ya me va say mo ye kra dodo na aba no. Omo di aba koji mo ye kra dodo na ne ba oman mu no. Na dollar no ekwan bi so aba fom no. Omo di aba koji na obi so. Say mo ye nte so. Let's be realistic. Omo ba he no. A dollar ekwan bi so aba fom no. Omo di aba akwa gina obi so say mo na nipa no kofa free Ivory Coast, okofa free Vietnam ne ayi ba he no. Omo nipa ne nte so. Automatically things so they say ain't no se bayre border so osro mo border mo aye produce no oman mu border so osro but the border so osro there are some significant questions we need to ask and they need to give us answers because probably they haven't done much e was biaye ho no and I make a try no o kaka asema me see me I heard the man I listened to the man live on this also mudu report wa niam na mo keka no mo bo ana Christo ni bia o ye importer no o ebia ontimi nye Christo ni papa and this is what the man said. Maybe Kessben could have come back to me trendy with this but this is what the man said here. You see me they make can say budget in urban we shouldn't make ye on it omo ba year 2025 year omo first budget omo ready here omo allocate 13.8 billion for roads mum ye misa omo say
akwando so no
and no my with that 13.8 billion. That is what I'm saying. The budget now and these figures I'm quoting from the current budget they read yesterday on Thursday. Omo allocated 13.8 billion in their first budget for roads. Let's ask them. A coin do saying no more ye. Now let me tell you this. Omo allocated 110 million for the implementation of the 24-hour economy till now as a journalist. Let's ask them.
What
is the detail?
The omo framework for them. Friend is saying Gusitan on Moshe them on Moji to them. And they almost sign Eddie Biababeka who said they are coming to do that one. And
Omo the book be about Bonting. Said that's the framework. Ushe mono, what was new? A dear pan and a the fufro, and yet a old projector, various government I implement no more rename me. That is what they renamed and brought it back to us. Say 110 million, let's begin to ask questions. Omoma a budget line, each item, was 24-hour economy now, almost 30 or more budget in mono. Oma locate 110 million. Now you chop. Let's be frank. Let's be brutally frank. And this will be Tiano a Ganani, no see budget, Yakokan see a better way, Yabeti Nema way, so Yabeti. NDC is probably functioning because they are still under the guidance or the direction of the IMF. I am telling you this. And it is a fact. Now, Yebehu 2026, 2027, after Ghana has exited IMF. Now, no. Because that is the reality. Obi jina mochi no dia ba etwa moto hwew no afa na obo nsa ema ho. Very true. Ene we accept that. Say din ye teaching. You see, nese woko IMF I always make us asem na I tell my students anytime be aban wo be ko IMF no na je say wo no exit plan wa draw. What the point na say unya gitum say wo be ko IMF na wa draw exit plan. Mobile ni yedi etiri akogye akyerema ama IMF no yanyamu asotwe ena mono mo abetomu na mo ena mo di so mfaso na mo de mo nto so ani so mfaso no na ahotani beba ena so omo design na era akwan mu 30 billion omo be hyase I spending no okase omo baaye afe infant say bosumi du baako yenti ayibia unti bibia because contract do say na akoso o man mu in the 11 months ya wadi wudi 30 billion ndi akokwan yi hu akokwan yi sui samudi mu 15 billion kra no ebedi dwuma wudi yenti mo be hu kro no say me be jase apie yenti kro no sem bia because mo nhyase nye
major project
bia edini yenti kro no sem bia na boss one significant major project for almost 11 months. I don't know why. Me since see am allocate modi we no some mo be spend it say sika we 30 billion. Some mo spend mu 10 billion kra na say ye the euros a modi e beti asum e wo kromu a. Ye beti asum. Na wunya your friend say wunya spend sika bia. O dia say afi na wo ba be spend na twen ne ehu de okahwe me be say me ka kire no say 2026 asi edun ketia ne Julius Debra ne omoma ke be contest afi ne ye beti nsam Ghana ha e ka budget no afi na ye ba enti me ba enti say bibi nyamaya na say etuo bi nyamaya afi na ye ba beti sansam no enti you see I am saying this say sa 30 billion no almost omudi be route no omudi bibia be hemwe almost 1,000 kilometers of agricultural enclave roads we enye koko roads ya no mo side ba kewodi enye koko roads ya no mo de ba koko roads no omode enkunta papa ben adi papa ben no mutimi so basically omudi sanyoma we nyina e ba be di esika kwa. And media point I mean making no. In fact, the next your friends in line of discussion into Minko, a draw will be bigger. But may say you people should begin to ask critical questions. Say 110 million for 24-hour economy. No, they should give us specifics. And dear Pano Modia de Nebabe. Maybe there from where I stand, no. Me won't say any that so be me. Yes. Because who did that so? I didn't need that so. When you solo say yeah. Ye me no nyina e be share Kessben ha no ubodi nenye say na net ye it is say dey need so be wa because who timu bi but me from where I sit me won need so be our budget we because ya ye budget by menya kwai me reading nyina me reading some aspect of the budget now I can tell you say these are repetitions of the things I just stated dada I ain't me achieve and I'm saying say opa Accra Kumasi, the classical example, Accra Kumasi highway.
This is also on fast. I'm saying, Honor Nabatros, no, until we yet to be.
We yet to be. Messi.
On a case.
Nese 2026. 2026. A quiet one. It is our audio way. Madam Monfanto, a quiet one 2026. Now, you should say the whole 2026, the biggest thing I buy Accra Kumasi highway. See, I see baby, Omo Yatui, a friend saying, short cutting.
There be.
Would you how be? Say,
but 3 years or the year complete within 3 years.
Okay, me say, would the budget we know the same statement, no? Would the pebine kind? No, we are telling you fact, and I am telling you based on history. What the point I say? It mean they make a Ghana for ni say any mean solo say. Omo putting some pragmatic measures. Fengu akwem. Said ye more dollar ball bar for more. A more man for bank so be so ama ubiante you know by omo the measures omo agricultural policies no a chance say yield the result and you omo because se bayira bebu so they say demand and supply the economics people will tell you or the economists will tell you se bayira bebu negu central market here pro
one better
and you na go change say 20 cities what they say but there bu said me crowd there me say I fear for in so ni tia madwuma bi am ye nka mepe. But me bon pa say in so to bebre because when the Ghana we share rainfall pattern na July and you experiencing the highest amount of rainfall. But it will interest you to know say the whole of July this year you are experiencing in so on top. The whole of July. Maybe Jordan, don't worry. Oh. So this is my space. What's the point I say? This is my space, and this is what I study. Me see, ye major whether you can talk about climate change assistance. Me see over the years, July has been our highest month of rainfall. But this year,
the whole of July,
the whole of July, there wasn't a single rainfall in Kumasi. It mean no. Oh, sensona and twa and twa next year. It will for pragmatic agricultural policies be and work. I am telling you, say, but by rebo, banchibo, ne bodia bono. Why you are into me? It mean that the mimic can say, yes, your bomb pie, Ghana, and united, yes, own tre, okra and quiet, okra and country and quiet, but so baby DVD out Chenicacra. Okay. It's yen near tea or maimo. Your bomb pie is bibia because Nadia, oh my da. Accidenti, I want to say any that will be any budget.
Me that's CP. Prof, mam ko prof.
Oh, neso bi abeka say we.
Control time. Time continue.
Good. KOD, that's a and you may discussion are interesting. Umunina akabi. Nya mesume kanon say budget they say no estimates. All other things be equal. Yeah, expect say kase bebo manimu. Ne banswa ye the best say. That is what budget is all about. Budgets are ya kind 50. If I say me offer kwam pramo penswa de ban. Me woni nyina because of some interest that sometimes I take and be more me some analysis be more on budget monitoring and evaluation near the. Enti afie de na ye fia said be 2025 and then 2026 for France so ba na de toto ho da toto ho sa na de in fact sanka budget ya kan o man mu ene the vim ne energy ne enthusiasm ya de kan ke bu ba ko kra ya juma Ghana nke ko enim oh
asabu no wakan
mu ba ko pe kra ya juma
paper so fe
nke ko enim mu ba ko kra ya juma nke ko enim ti yes, on this general, on the general, look at Bibia Bumua, and this year buying 2025 year back on the way in the first year in office. Why are they? No, dear,
you can't take it.
You can't have it. Who them say? Your friend be intervention analysis. Baby, or how no pano intervene, strike hard. Nasa ohane mra from kakra. Uwe na nyasa ahon haro kakra sa anoa. Na for the other things. And for me, yes, it is not the best economically to be intervening in the forex. So this ikafufro na eba be shema exchange balance no aba form. You as a president, artificial. Akwa se obi asebio ni BP aba bofrimu. Na woman na drobi dia knock pressure down to the normal level. But the sustaining way, the sustainable way near the management of it. Emma, me sure say many to forcing is aware. We sure say all the senior men in NDC are aware. Economics guys are a name of a Kwabena for no money. Me of a I'm sure they know. But I think say deliberately to stabilize the rate at which another dollar no stable or minus at time. That's why their first attempt has been to inject as huge as over $10 billion to control
how
the
sustainable.
situation. And I make I say, I question emergency abanye ma we drop to knock you down to normality. And you do normality, no, we must be able to manage it. I mean, yes, sure say omu at their level of economics and finance, no, their intention will be to intervene. Sa kusiye we menye sure. Other sectors of the economy, say mubabeboa, nema exchange balance and stability, no, equilibrium, no, yetimi draw. And you know, yes, finance monetary team for ayomudie by intervening. SSCA, you know, the fiscal team, trade and industry kahon, or no finance minister ne kahon, ne other real sectors of the economy. Me sure say agri kahon, transport, energy kahon, all those key real sectors of the economy na make. They know themselves. Omu be kahon ayomu sectors ni yes and be control. Ama city dollar no ankasa take you on one level. Said near my kwa abonten any near my buy inside the timinya trade balance. No nom the pressure buy a sick as me just say ko enim no. Ombehwe no ma yes hard no dia man, but I mean the overall score is that nanka economy na ya de kese pa getting into 2024 elections. That has been controlled. The next thing good afo ne omu role in send ye be manage a city near ya ho ne ade. Last year, and I said over the years, I have been championing that idea. Me opportunity be me too omo for sreomo. Say me new doctor, no down man me so no that's your leader. They should look inward. Umba bonti bia na buy no na dollar no na den no mo so mo ka ho aso don sa ba ko tin obi so phone ni nyina ahwe mo. Phone ni nyina ahwe mo. In fact, me new so look at one angle. Said they only think of profit, like every businessman would do. Forgetting say more profit, no so na say economy no. Number two, America Solodian who say they are not even moderate in the items they seek to import. Omunya yanki yenyehwe wo Ghana.
The be omu krambra.
Henti omuhwe niema demand was wa. Then they import that. Omunya yanka memi yenyehwe. So maybe any hodom wa. Nyame boy ensase yemfanya adwuma. Enti ye de betra ha ye de yenyehwe ya be import bibia ade aba. Ama nkrofo kroso adwuma because wo import de aba no. Ehofo na amo adwuma because omu no mu koya ade no wanya na wakoto de aba. Kra gari. Kra gari. Kra bibie bi. Enti
toothpick.
Yes. Enti hono de me good time must accept. We are in a new era about for fraba. Sabi e koso aye ne madada no a say na so frustrated at the last year 2023-2024 by this time I'm frustrated say solo. Around that time my political friends me na for power near you NDC side me person me boba akudi solo nim no. Prof, when we are doing politics then you want to water down, you want to pour water on the but the reality is that we politics not to nchenya good afoni a contributing factor to our challenge here in this republic. We must tell them made the Mecca we shall me home fan to aba so look kana bubefuno mini doctor kana bubefuno. I don't know why they don't know him. Ebinisania doctor they all refer to omu leader bako no kasa ye no. And na die bia ko support on na yenim na den yenim you see. Are you being given a different exchange rate at the port? Tell us. Na you advocate man.
Yeah.
When you tell us, we will advocate for you.
Yeah.
And yes, sir, what we know is that even at the port, when you stability for 6 months, to the extent that your mamu bench rate of exchange no, It will not change for the next 6 months. Just so businessmen can plan.
Yeah.
Do you get it? That is costing the country some loss of revenue.
Yeah.
At the
expense of the nation. Yes. Insincerity and insincerity in the part of some people.
Oma will be had a chance that the human mind, especially the black mind, would want to take advantage of anything. In fact, me no know kasa afia soma politician bi anya a scandal bi ani ade. They are studying the loopholes.
What the boss no regret. Anyway.
Oh dear, I mean, we wish ourselves well. At least we can do the same thing. We are waiting for a day ayebenya on Mombe sincere edi omani ni kakra. Oh yeah, yes no you hear the number pan san kwa. E di ma say obedi minister wunya ho wa awe nya yi.
Kakra.
You will get. Ti men say no ho ensa me bo man kro no. Please. Intimidate some of these things me no keka na make be, but in overall no dear we wish ourselves very well. Ade ba ko a mehu me dey to ya etie ya ye wa ehwe ye for say budget dey say na medical aka no estimates ye nya ya ye be ye nkomo na enu ye no enu bo no enye ye be ye
ba ne ye
wa be for budget say ye be ye bia no wadi hu anim kai you have run ahead of yourself. Ye nya ya be ye me kai last 2025 20 yes sir
every time we have you.
Last year, I buy a chair. Me na make us say we don't want us to point to politicians, but why would you know reduce your expectation kakra? Budget no you see ye beye enye ye beye. For example, 2025. So compare 2025 there no page. I think 2025 then the 204 and 2026 there ya can year 1051. The 204 no. Last year 2025 budget 204 page 204 no say Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 564.6 million Ghana cedi for comprehensive provision of free curricular based textbooks covering the following: 4 sets of KG books, workbooks for about 2.8 million learners, 4 sets of primary textbooks, 800,000 learners, 9 sets of JSS textbooks, 540,000 learners. Do you get it? Me nyan bi. Me nua solo na wo teacher adwumam. In fact, me na teacher for bebre kasa government schools. In fact, baby amete opie ya usi abai school mu. Me nyan bi. Enye minus. But wow, fan say abai so obeche books o na be disappointed.
Yeah.
The same sentence corner wo page 1051 e won radio yi mu. 1051 ne say Mr. Speaker, government will provide Intenye will continue. First one the Intimi Amasunti a new promise 2 paragraph na there, but government will provide free comprehensive curricular based textbooks covering the following. No, as I lifting it is just a lift
from the previous one.
The previous one to a bit me menkasa sa na beba, but what I'm saying is that senior obuase anwan kwanta e wo budget move from me of akwa best well cause it's a baby for reata so answer na fi free budget nim no. Ebetimi so abase bibi sa so betimi repeating who mu anadi control your expectations.
Right.
Yes, aban na bon humodi onya ya anko be nyama bebre, but bia now do any koto so bebre ko ye bia na amamusa express road from Accra to Kumasi. Make I say last year ebaye e wo commodity me ka say me nua Agboja governance road minister ebeka ye hu debate kakra sa den na wonhwe fix that no answer no start fufuro. In fact, I have still been positive for this. From that time, I've been positive for this. Niame can based on new comma as ha be ya utie budget you senior at force in comma oba. They say yako fall under the big push. They say the Ghana sika kruya neba beye. That is where I will continue to disagree. Uko abrochire kro fufuro so anopena menimia Soloni e bossa ankomoyi abroche foforo so anka dey wenke special road anka bank bi na eba beto ana company kese bi na eba beto a finance ye e de mu to buta besi in and out ajijinisika about you create the enabling environment for businesses to thrive. This is a serious investment somebody may want to take. And my advice asamba bi emunti da make say ya kweso munya ya e be ka for land the government of Ghana. And as I buy a copy busia diaba be I beg to differ and I'll continue to beg to differ.
But that's the implication.
Budget. Onyanye ye onya obeye nkonkobo. Nti na sabe Kessben so mpani 40 pa. Nti so mu tia uma prepare sa preparatory works inside the man nyina awie. They should float it for interested businessmen and companies and banks to take it. No munya na special express road remu watcha auto. Bank krona na ejiji ateteneka. People will prefer where be a unya skentra ta to no obefa normal Kumasi Accra road no so a wafa near de it is something omutie nom de ka plan na ekoso ne ho a ebeyi saa o ha kese na free aban ne so already big push promise I dey ma 13.8 billion 2025. And open no bidding come obi so ebia omugu so join contract but the year has ended. In fact, the year has ended meaning say what to say ye bibia for construction of a new bridge on Oti River at Dambai. So what to be bisa. The number 2, rehabilitation of Wahan Road. Upgrading of Tumuhamele Road. Upgrading of Tumuhamele and the matter say ayeso de no. So la wenchi de no so koso and the miama fasunti miama ya we. Construction of Sunyane Outer Ring Road, Navrongo Tumu Road, Techiman in Konsia, Wenchi Road, Techiman to Wenchi Kwano, Gbinyiri, Gbintri, Nakpanduri Road. What I'm saying is that, sir, 32 list of roads here by a year. Near say some districts have been considered, others have not been considered near the end of Kenya. I'm not sure, say 13.10 billion, no. Was able to start and finish. My point is that are we discussing, you see, budget there and can you fixed for a year? But Ghana has himself over the years, our budgets have transcended even terms. Until sa list year de ba ye 32 what is area mu have now expectations was high so afi be so me yourself kwan. You may think the government has disappointed you. And so that budget was merely I didn't fear some cars say budget pa ye kan organ how the enthusiasm
ne trimu pono no nya
yes senka ye pa say ye mu kwota kra na dia ye yi anka ebe yi. One thing I am very sure of and they say everything procurement that is stated in a political budget gains priority because I don't know wari wo ho ye koma contract nya bibia afiri ho ye koto we nya bibia afiri ho hwe paragraph 954 ewo current budget yimu a ya listed farm machineries bia ye kwakoto dia ba be support ebeba so because whoever gets the contract in sika wo the challenge would be the things that people's eye will see the implemented things na eba be ye yi no ekwan ya yesi eba be ye no hospital na yesi eba be no we na yesi eba be nti nipa no a obeba contract na me sere ne sese o ma contract ni wi a ensi wo hwa o ma nani ni akire make sure say whoever took the job has done it and the people are benefiting and yes na ye de ye hu na me nim say ya anya careful ebe ko so ahu and say ye nya ma contract ni wi pe na eni afiri ho na afi contractor no so ye ya no raise no ye ya no raise obi ani ni eche work that can maybe last for maybe a year or 24 months or something no ebe we say na a creating inconvenience yakodwi kwan so kwan kran ko mujare sa kran kaye yakodwi su na egbo mfuturo na yenso ayenye for 24 months na be say twem na 2 years 4 years abana we aba na wa anye also na also inconvenience the people we see that every day. All right. enti me deɛ what I'm thinking is a control ayi deɛ nneɛma yɛn nkɔ tɔtɔtɔtɔ no deɛ matena board bi so a mpanimfo ahyia yɛ fa adwene edu sɛ yɛn nkɔtɔ bibi nneɛma na yɛ hia to do the main work ni kura nyanya yi no yɛ twin sɛ sika be free na aba na World Bank fɔ fa sika ma na we nya se no na obi anya sika akɔkra some items be quickly or crashes items no so crap obenya ho fa so no wonder usually we get money to buy you go to the end there no quickly but niema no so goes beyond sa atoto no ya sebe musika na mbenya nti na ya mo patoto but ya mo nwe yen so ye ho kakra all I'm saying is so far it's not been bad na make nyina nko wie say it's been bad but it's been interventionary ye ko yanim no niema must take their own level meaning say credit there where it is due you will not give Ghana how obi no abo obi aba so da enyesa anka debt restructuring no MPP 4 year no I yield this some home for so be so that one I don't expect Minia to forcing why will to force go to parliament and go and say MPP for all credit to them why will he do that anyway so I say but so far Atu is doing very well I think say combination of the political exploits the youthful exuberance and then the knowledge over the area near NATO no combine it to work in his favor. Nia can say finance minister no onye you or your accountant at the office. So far met me about na Greek minister Abaso. So far met me about Minia Kwabena Owusu when you challenges I know. But he's been able to compose himself as a health minister. You come here so no minister strike na kono so power. Yeah, but he's been able to compose himself. Me sure say budget to be man some relief no the necessary for interaction but omo maka ni Haruna Idrusu ono so ya the education minister fairly near man problem kakra ye SHS placement ne ye 38,000 40,000 ya the on finance for mo nya sa amwa ni nua education minister twemu emwa me pa cho Jinapo oh yeah now oni madia ade ba kwa solo kan ya eye nokre na nso no efiri ba bi na ba ne say ECG for make a lot of revenue partly because they levied us omo de tun so de bi to so because J one see the crash and the to so the o dey say eto so but going forward they should look at where the loopholes are and obi a wo ton ade 10 na you say ade na nso to ukoton wie ye ba ne kra no losses are transmission losses inquire about 30% and no business trim 70 ni so akoton ye no
the point is that increment na 90%. Sika be genetic omunya na every month na 90%. So once the bomb munya it doesn't add up to being 30% of total increment omunya wo ho. Enti leap no just get them say nye the once you become no for now I jump to 90% increment revenue.
No but do you know where the 90 meba solo wo de menu no ke patch of 1 minute Omayade.
Thank you.
Meba Omayade but it is in the presence of increments in the no because yenya report be a said they have taken care of their transmission losses.
Yeah.
That's true. And we are one angle, and we are one end of,
but the transmission losses are still there. But the transmission losses,
thank you. You are correct. And Solo is also correct.
Yes. What I'm saying is that
it's not even up to 40%.
Yes.
So if they are getting 90%, it means that
no. The issue is that you see, my worry starts with the word 90%.
Okay.
Because transmission losses alone is taking up to 40% of Nyamu.
That is what he wants to address.
No, the mechanic say every month, no more than 900 million cedis every month.
That is
and they call 1.7 billion.
As a number person,
fix. What's on the board?
All other things can be fixed.
That's what I want to believe.
Okay, wait a minute. So I'm usually not like this. But the American say, even in the even in the exchange rate now you can say what 10.9 do you know we could have done better
yes.
And in America say ECG for should not be happy with the numbers. Oh, tie.
The issue is that Solo, hold on. The issue is that the losses in
ECG they are making. Tie. Yeah. Unim
for what of another topic.
Let's not celebrate this when they can do better. Transmission losses, no. 8 gusu nyunugu naga se wenya 90% enye revenue collection no se wa improve na se still cover and crofo maybe that for ECG manager or Obwas Adweso. He's able to tell me how people even steal power. Yes, be wire ni bibia come on. And so now yes, we got me wires too. Back here for ECG. Back
almost no yes sir.
They should do well. Why are they about to Munkoso?
Hey.
By the Amoka we and
topic 2 now.
That win. When mommy
come on for some message kaka. Mommy come on for some message kaka.
Boss, one minute. 1 minute. My uncle we are 1 minute. And now my question is better. And I know some MPP phone. And I wish you wouldn't have. And I wish you be and now Mukase will be roots. Road Ben Maye. And Rame. Before I come,
that's MPP.
Okay, we are. So we say, "Can we say Kessben last year?" And Mundiani, and now maybe come and I'm confessing. 2 other Kwame. So I would know minister for as what years I can't do. There's no contractors on the road. I feel a kaya betu a cow road contractors. In excess of 8 billion. Of Anka road, no, of Anka road. Who are your Tomamuha and of course strike? Say Yamu Musica Omonia. There was no money. She cannot government are not here. So be able to know. Also, such a young can go into that point or to bid forcefully. Say this someone timer and some prof who could have answers to them one by one. And no correct. So we cannot implement budget. But by and large. Percentage wise, they are almost implementing. The results. But more there.
Thank you very much. That's Solo. Thank you very much. My main message is Nakakana. Benji Ewo Seria Memphis. Also watching live from Memphis Seria Shinyani Road. Specifically, someone knows that the budget will help the country to improve, but because of the propaganda and politics, they can't say. Honestly, we will be the good. The good government next year, Mr. Host. Okay, thank you very much. May I say, what would you ode abrain and enumerate? And so, let me take this one too. We essay teacher Eric Eke Obia here scam and so Atreso. Finance Minister never made mention of a Boise to Atreso Road in the budget, but the road needs immediate attention because it is difficult for cars to ply that road. So President John Dramani Mahama, please come to our aid because the people who use this road also pay taxes. So help us. Okay, yeah, that's it. Teacher audience. Good evening, Cody. I'm Solomon Jagri from Kunsu. My NDC government is performing wonderfully well, but there's one thing that they need to look at. That is the grassroots. If not, they will sleep in the room whilst their legs are outside 2028. Yeah, that's it. Solomon Jagri, Odia, Odi Abrain. Lawrence Wacheke, Buchewa Senior Soren Kwanta, and so Edibi Abrain. Was say, obeying to other feelings on behalf of the Honorable Brian Champion team, I wish to express our sincere condolence to the family of the victims of the military recruitment stampede. May their souls rest in peace. Thank you very much for your message. Good evening. I'm Sir Isaac from Takwa. In fact, Christians are enemies of themselves. One thing NDC is very good at is defaming people who are not in their party. Sometimes when I sit down and see how NDC guys disparage people for them to look so evil, it baffles me. For NDC, anything good MPP proposes, they poo-poo it. A student Ketia told Ghanaians the mass cocoa spraying introduced by Kufuor was to kill farmers' cocoa trees. The Jubilee house built by Kufuor will be used for hen coop. Medical drones was to watch married women's womanhood in bathroom. FreeSHS 419. They told their people not to take part in Ghana card. They boycotted the passing of NHIS, etc. In all these, when the things they speak against become a success, they try to hobnob themselves with it. Okay, thank you very much for your message. Teacher Kujo Tepa and Susu and so Edibi Abraying will say it is very unfortunate that this has happened to our sisters and friends. What Ghana Armed Forces should do is determine the number of soldiers they want to recruit in every region based on various decisions in the army and sell a little bit over in case of partial shortages. Instead of selling bloated forms for them to meet in one place, they should also limit the protocol list. At the end of the day, those who did not even pass the training will be enlisted, leaving out the qualified candidates. Yeah, that's it for your message. That is all. Mayemra and Kokon Kitten so. Na 5 minutes for each. Na doc, my Mr. 5 minutes.
Obiase for me do the phobia time na me educate you omukaka.
You begin 5 minutes, mami too.
Obiase on gahwe.
Obianka songa.
Ma omuso omukasa fa bibia mahwe. Kokon kitten once again. Emwa Ghana. Na one of the same things mistakes na yaye over time. One, Ghana share housing systems. Pastor they say, what they share housing system. Now we say the thinking of this policy is something realistic. Yeah, high dying. Yeah, high dying. We share housing nomenclature na.
High down to me.
Maybe say me catch. Nyantu wase. What would they imagine? Yeah, housing system. What they just imagine. Minimum fear with him. What they say? Any fear at him. Well, unko fear fine. But the danger is that the obeji bi nukra no the obeji bi ko ha ekoyen no wo be kom no ne han dan prof mo atiti o mu fie ne bi kro no kra o maji eti imagine say ye nyina o say no me han dan wa o han dan so lo han dan na yakoji na obi agi 50 just imagine se fie ho na ye de ade ne kono realistic
o ka fie
baby aye kokwen because
compound house asem
omo de ade ne ba no omo se hifa ne yenkoyen no in the first place omo se hifa ne kokoyen
backyard farm
good and I'm saying share houses you don't just import any idea into the system nyanto wase with our housing system no backyard no nipa do saying the obi that's the reality no wo ye this is not rural district policy a national policy would be about baby to say I mean peri urban community say nipa 50 e nipa 10 and hand no sa we no ehfa no mukwakoyen no that's one
joka kosi say
the make akosi ni say enkosi hwe ya ye make 245 million ana ye de sa de we na kohye we no afibia so aban di sika we ba be shem no wache nkukọ na mankofo at the micro level na nkukọ ni nyina omokum awe
yes one kan sa
put the nyanto wase na wakum awe ana waton
o say
me ba cho de me ba
no o say Christmas here ye nkukọ nkitinkiti o ma obia 50 no 6 weeks time na wanyini a Christmas ba betime kubiawe na kakra na wo no ono abeto
aban na abeto
yes
and no any a problem eti de me can say afibia no aban the 200 udenyanto wase na tiam yo what the 250 million edi ache mankofo sa no bezo chiro what the aton kokko ache na waka jo say wo kokoyen ne kumbiwe how do we get the 250 million na aban ni di shem how do we get it back
obeton now be box no like you kwakoto of Adam Pemuno one no be box or the reference e bechem e honum no ebeye reference that nkukọ no hab
Kodi
na what the
nyanto ba se na bin flow na sa niema we e na ha o man we ebesi sabre we sa niema ade a wo kan enye realistic in the first place it is not realistic and we have to critique some of these things because eyesika 250 million Ghana cedis de timi aban no de yaton kokko de ache no waka just say wuji 50 me ji 50 we ji 50 no waka chem say me no ye kum bi wi a de akara no aba beto how do we account for that 250 million next year the same budget na bia aba no waton kokko no de ache Ghana are we serious in the first place so let's be realistic adentina sa 250 million no yenya ya dwen say de be create millionaires because ye nkofobia omo system ni mu a genuinely omo ye ndwuma ni bia for the purpose say me to be more mudin You just upa for region. So there's a bro half doma area more your poultry farmers be bro. Say sika we ubetimi a pikin nipa be 50. No one monitor omo. Now why you these people can omo betimi I produce 1 million maybe a one what me monitor back here but betimi produce 1 million chicken. Afa nipa bebre amount ama saa adwuma na wo aban pesa wo ye na enye realistic no. There are people who can do the job for you. The Biameka, Minia Solomu person who deny that policy. No, you see, let me tell you, one district, one factory. Ebe yenyan 100%, but me te wakwa kasapreku egui, and everybody knows this because na me te yasan to echiro kasapreku gui, and udru kasapreku. Do you know what kasapreku is doing? Toda tracks need to me salai unya baby current me fa. Uko you own a house in the side, and the kasapreku timatos high remu nyina. Mu produce. Do you know the number of jobs Kasapreko create? Alright. Eti the me can say, "Sa die we na ye na say ye di ahuta ye boy ensem no." E can e dey bro man. Enye realistic.
So lo ma too.
I want to say simple.
Want to say?
Yes. Nkoko on the first place no. 50 no enye static. Or say a maximum of 50.
Yeah.
One will apply. Nti say yes we need valanda wonya dey. Wonya dey. Nti obi a wo apply bia the thinking they say wo baby obetua bo bu okitwa and the great officers will come and inspect.
Meaning that they will inspect before
they will inspect. They will inspect because say not to apply. They think people come and you say wo boni ready. Yes bo nkwa na ho here. E boni ready. You hwe boni size near determine number of bears obetua kom but maximum 50. That point ought to be clear. Again, nkoko no go klaba no. Enye nsama na ewi o. Enipa na ewi. What do you assume say your mama also on there on yesa ban be buy or mon kwa tam ska no boom 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 edi. But household bia Ghana ska dey nya dia. Memo obi anko 50. Obi anwe bi. Bro nya ba obi anko mele. Our demand on importation of water. No, you see these are basic. Wait, I don't need any scientist tell me say.
Every year we are going to 245 million.
Allow me. See boss. Adia butaye deche munji straight ni say our heavily importation of poultry products e ka ho ani esi bi no enyira yi mom me boa e ka ho enji se bo means bia ye betuna careful importation of the poultry products na ye ankasa ye local because omo a feed no ye local contractors and about feed they all checks no ya pay ye say for be say 8 say 1 2 but the people within the system on be hatchery na maye and these are all local. We are going to pay them with cedis and not dollars. This a me fee afi e be ko we me ma sia akoko myself me chena akoko me ni omo me ma won ko no say mo bo me fie na me nkoto bo ni na e ba ni bia e ma o man ni ye and government am a policy were very clear boss kutu e champon ya mu biebe ya hu ni bebre ara me boa but enough operation feed yourself it doesn't come as them and onye nye focus bia o mfichie body ba ku mienu but ba ku mienu e ma o man no he ha omo sa adwene kese ni bi and is excessive John Dramani mama ode ba for information I get 2 layers. This is household NFN content no poultry farmers hangasa good omo me medium to large scale poultry farmers government have a policy to almost revamp them but chicken a bit from 1,000 minimum 1,000 almost level no into your holistic plan for the poultry industry government afia bro yama sika say before stock goto over 20 million go in no we are hoping say your feed your everything will be produced locally government you have been working well boss anya drink it prof and your holistic
please
boss
please
and when we statistics
no flow. Allow him to flow, Mr.
Holistic.
I understand doctor's concern. So, Musa Moye Beye Omi Sabi, Ebinum Befrim. What I say, we bet him here. I understand the concern. Sustainability. The fear back where was sustainability will say be an uncle be crack of him. Omo ye important Becca just say you can spare about 5% losses. Oh yeah, they are dear. But send your arrangement in it here. No say I'm pass assistance never be buano. A veterinary for ne no. extension officers ne veterinary 42 na because me dem mehu document no, and if the implementation goes well my comment and can babe can say operation feed yourself na so lodi kan no me ade ba ko me yes me akọ register bi nti ma me kokọ register bi me hwe say Solomo amami bi ahun la ilaha illallah only there's the way part say me fee near ye nkoko but the way my mother had time for the chicken enti me as my family mama bi sa and I wish I would have time for nkoko like that. Seriously, menya time for nkoko. The way my mother had time for nkoko is like Jama, I'm hoping to take interest in it seriously, and then even grow it into a medium level, not just about I'm really considering it very well, and I think all the fears is will be a it will help you feed yourself. Feeding yourself means what take a burden off the market. Market no say burden ni free so aye benefit. Say open market here yentimi nya ho mfaso na umpenom de mai because obi asori okosa jom kro no a eye na nko atu banche wo fie we so atu ni banche wo fie e na ya nko jom anko pre banche no a aka se nka absolutely. Now competition I want market no. Sisi abrofo na ya ma omudi akụkọ mua no bi nso ba. Tizia ukota akụkọ mua no anya careful abetumi ato fridge mu akụkọ mua wo. Ye ntwitwa aye. I was thinking sanka they can take the parts say de ne sere ba ye ne eyaba no. Na nka akụkọ mua de utode anu so uto Ghana de. Na obi aka sokota akụkọ mu obenya bi wo he. Enti media for me no idea we can try it. Me ne menu ya adwene the answer has been given by Solo say omomuwo industry nim that also has been listed.
Yeah.
They are going to be giving higher support. Commercial impact na free. If you the end there, why we serious pa because we ye ni ye pa no. Ubetim kra da your small business o. Because I'm going to start to say toa. Ubetim sell aton go so like media and American am an agrarian person sabe ye dey free kwayem
free hem.
Free hem never ye. And one mo a omunya baby mfa bu nsi de e normal national policy. Free SHS here by ebi mpa na ne banana manyina wie school we nya so mfa so da ne baby anu we go school enti yeah baby atini ade can be challenged. These things are real issues but it doesn't make it non-national. Say even Ghana for be if I say I'm 30 something million 35 million Ghana for 1 million or 2 million cra ne benya ade we so mfa so na so mu ye ni ye a it can serve all of us well.
All right. Thank you very much. Please.
This evening programs have been one of the most interesting programs I ever had. Ghana for
Doc, please.
Doc. Ghana for Inya Daje and the second coming of Ira Mahama. And about 3 months ago, community we have Ashanti region here. Eba no ye program bi a wo sha advocate say yen sha share enye backyard farming. So minim so be kaya me community no. And after that program no minya kwai kase bi. So what kind budget here? I think paragraph 958 here. It also talk about feeding our students with what we grow. It fit into my summary about this whole discussion is that ye fie mu nipa wo manya opportunity asi wo mu fie no emra so se ye retooling yadwene kwabra ensuo to 5 minutes and ensuo ayiri because obi a wanya sika bi ato task ayi akata asegu no fie ma invite you se brefie a o ma me person me
Mr. Asome odi be ahead in talk about
se obi enya bi a prof oba me fie a anwumre ya ope body e dia because me twa bi ama wo ope kube eda koko red no ene ba me fie kwaso no for security menchire me what me nka center of commerce me ben pa o but apart from tana na me dey fa so akure me fie no left right dia aka nyina no that is my decision. Me wa mango
every
we
kind of
take the political aspect of it. Se wunya kwan na kwa abrochi said the prof makono no abrochi wo bia fie be make sure say wo small garden not garden probably say wo dey fu but
green vegetation
kaka yenya politics no yenya ye wo ye nkurase ne yenya ete hey me je sure say sa me maame anu wo tie mi wo tetirem me na na akwa yintim onso no ye nkokɔ enua bi na ye di training ye nian etoda na wo do hu kowura sa ne manimu a ya na ani ka keke yes we di ni
ai obia wone de
well kwabra hwe se wo krama keto bi ofie no atu kwaya acha na wo ba enti wo di aside everything yemfa ne se eye hobby and ye develop a lot of benefit. However, the Dr. Kano, he is only making a positive critique here. He's against it, but probably a contest now for free. No.
Doctor, so,
after 6 months, figures. Omuma and Kwong can get away no. I go on to take it. The impact on importation of chicken. Sikana
let's wait. I think that is why electricity
now I'm buying the truth
as part of
those things are there. Our time is up.
245
million. Passport office Ewusunyai or program
245 million buying the
good me benya sell me say what you want to come me na cause the most go for cheap because when I come feedback come these are all wonderful
245 million buying the good
your mom pay man the Kent administration we have said so well I've said so man kitchen e ye now enti yen so Ghana ye e ma ye nyina
thank you prof you have the final say hey look how they 30 seconds
Nima we are kekenya nti na ye Dr. Brian Champondino obemwa in fact odemu
say
obemwa ye
full stopper on the bear
any nyansa any unity ebeba no the lead Ghana
you have the final say
me wa list of nkrofo me in fact me da omoka papa if distribution is starting at Mensaka. So local home number 1. Minia Amwakohine Honorable Regional Minister number 2. Minia Ofurajimai Mayor Zuba number 3. Minia Sadat Ofurukrum number 4. Ena a lawyer Mankwa or Greek ministry number 5. Ena but seriously no I think say wa benya opportunity ni bi no don't treat it as ordinary politics unya bia ye ni bibima at least one day some of these sound bites must go around to see how can measure the impact no?
All right,
for me it is food. And then Ghana crowd and Kenyan and they say
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we had a very wonderful and fruitful discussion. A message is meant to me and kind of do na mo fan cheme. Forgive me, pass and meant to me and kind. Tomla Edibi by say Isaac Edibi Ebaye and a host of others. Omunyina Edibi by and to me and kind of fan cheme. Everybody know NC na yen sorry. Meda Professor Smart Sapon as the Oko KSTUA. Eho ena odi ni juma ono eye director research innovation and development sanso ena Solomon Anane Ashanti regional executive member of the NDC Prince Obriyeboa eye banking consultant and policy analyst and afi Dr. Simon Boateng eye assistant secretary the Matchman Webija South NPP or some lecturer or answer jumadi no madam yaya ena ehihye ya yede ebrewo set any cameraman no maka nyina ebuaye wachi ho MC4 and technician duty meeting ede Kwabena Owusu Dankwa yakramo yankopon enkamre pam we besan atiyanka bye bye.